Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call. My name is Shay Shiva. I am the admin for Web3SONIC. I'm the creator and founder of this platform. A little bit of background on me. I've been in the IT world for 25 plus years. Started off with compact computers, got into networking, and I've supported multiple different e-commerce platforms over the years. Got into smart contracts in 2018, fell in love with the technology. I've been in crypto since 2014. Lost a lot of crypto in this space. Just trying to, instead of just buying Bitcoin and watching it go up and down, right? There has to be something else to it, right? Besides just holding it and watching it go up and down, right? So we look for opportunities to multiply that cryptocurrency while we're just holding it, right? Instead of just having it just sit there. And in doing so, unfortunately, there's scam after scam that's set up to just steal our cryptocurrency. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I created Web3SONIC. Right, we initially launched on the OPBNB blockchain, and a month after we went live on OPBNB, Sonic went live mainnet, and we decided to migrate. And that happened in December, Christmas Day, and we went live, I think, officially the first week in January. We have close to 2,700 members on the platform. Not everybody is active, but their accounts are permanently connected, right? So as long as they have access to the wallet, they can log in at any time. And for those of you who have been with us from the beginning, you've seen how much we've grown, how much we've added to the platform, all the cool tools and technology that you get when you become a member, right? We're building a community here with Web3SONIC. Our focus is on community, right? And we're powered by the Sonic blockchain, right? Sonic is a new blockchain that went live. It's an upgrade from the Phantom FTM. So if you're familiar with crypto and you're familiar with FTM, Sonic is a rebrand or the new version of FTM. FTM is no longer, the blockchain's still there. However, all the value has been migrated over to Sonic, right? They are currently the fastest EVM layer 1 blockchain. EVM means that it's an Ethereum virtual machine, which means we can run any code that Ethereum's running, right? Any smart contracts that are deployed on Ethereum, we can deploy them here on Sonic, and we have faster speed, lower transaction costs. And one of the great things about Sonic is that they give the developers 90% back of the transaction fees back, right? So very, very powerful blockchain. The token at the moment is not doing much. Currently, where are we? I got too many windows open here, but I'll find it soon. The token itself is currently trading, I think, at around 27 cents. Sonic just changed their CEO. The CEO was Michael Kong, and he transitioned over to CTO as Andre moved on to focus on Flying Tulip, which we're going to talk about, which is coming next to Sonic. And we believe that once that happens, that's when Sonic's going to start to take off. So we're currently, where we are with the token itself. We're right here. It shows that we're at 27 cents right now. So a great time to get in. We are at the bottom of this move, right? As you can see, we've been consolidating here since July. Just kind of sitting here waiting for something to happen, right? And we believe that catalyst is going to be Flying Tulip, right? And I'll explain why I believe that as we get into the presentation. But let me run through the presentation so that you understand what Web3SONIC is. It's not a company. It's a decentralized application that's built on the Sonic blockchain, and it pays you instantly for sharing the platform with other people. And as you become a member and as you upgrade, you get access to tons of different things in the Web3 space, DeFi, staking, trading, access to our bots, our signals, all kinds of cool technology. I'm obsessed with technology, and I believe technology can transform our lives. And I'd like to share that with you guys and show you guys exactly how you can take advantage of this technology, because it's not something that's coming, it's already here. It's been here, right? The reason Ethereum is currently trading at $4,500 or wherever it is today, I think it came down a little bit, both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But the reason why Ethereum is doing so well, right, is because of the technology that it brings to the crypto space, right? The gaps that it fills for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a great store of value. It's the best store of value that we've had in our entire history when it comes to money, right? Because there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. And that's what most people don't understand, is that Bitcoin is the first monetary instrument that we have, or asset that we have, that has a limited supply, right? There's only going to be about probably 21 million total, but there's only going to be about 18 million in circulation, right? The other million, or the other 3-4 million is locked up in Satoshi's wallet. He's gone, probably dead. And you know, a lot of people, a lot of early investors in Bitcoin didn't take it seriously, and they lost their keys, they lost their wallets, right? So a lot of that early supply is gone from circulation, right? So at the very maximum, we'll probably have 18, 19 million in circulation. The great thing about that is 64% of that Bitcoin is actually owned by individuals. It's not owned by companies or corporations or governments or banks, right? The only reason the banks and the governments are getting into it now is because they realize that they can't stop it, they can't shut it down, and they've been trying to do that, right? Bitcoin is 16 years old, and from the beginning, right, they've been trying to shut it down, make it difficult for us to access and get it. But finally, we have some clarity in the space, right? With the executive orders that President Trump recently signed, right? Bitcoin is now classified as a digital asset, and it's our right to acquire as much digital assets as we can, right? Let me plug in my charger here. All right, so let's run through the presentation, right? So Web3SONIC is a smart contract. It's actually 5 different smart contracts. We have a registration smart contracts that tracks your, it basically connects your wallet address to an ID number, and that ID number is the same as your wallet address. So the only thing that you have to share is that ID number, and when you refer someone to Web3SONIC, the system knows that you referred that person, and the smart contract, which is just basically code on the blockchain, is programmed to do exactly what it's programmed to do, right? Which I'll explain how that works as we go through the presentation, right? But it's just immutable code, meaning that it's permanently written on the blockchain. It can't be altered, it can't be changed, right? Once the code is deployed, that's the way it works, right? Now you can replace it, right, with different code, right? But that smart contract, that address is permanently locked, and any transactions that are coming in, anyone that sends Sonic or wrapped Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC to the smart contract knows exactly who referred that person and exactly what to do with that transaction, right? So that's why we like smart contracts. They're immutable. There's no middleman, right? This is a peer-to-peer transaction, right? So you refer someone, the smart contract receives that payment, and it instantly redirects it to where it goes. It never stores anything in the smart contract. And with Sonic being instant, literally the funds are instantly distributed directly to your wallet, right? So instant payouts. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to get paid or anybody's going to scam you or steal your money, right? The smart contract does all the work for you, right? It's called a trustless system, meaning that we don't have to trust, right? A third party. We don't have to trust that the bank's going to pay us, right? The smart contract is programmed to send those payments straight to your wallet, right? Here at Web3SONIC, what's unique about us is that we pay out 100% commissions, right? There's no admin fees, right? You do pay a transaction fee, but like I said, that transaction fee is less than a penny on Sonic. Very, very low transaction fees, right? 0.01 Sonic per transaction, right? Which at Sonic at 25 cents, it's a quarter of a penny, right? Per transaction that you're paying to send $1 million, $1 billion, right, from one wallet to another wallet, right? Very, very powerful technology. And when it comes to smart contracts, that's the most important thing, right? It's speed and it's low transaction costs. Bitcoin does not have speed. Bitcoin does not have low transaction costs. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum, while it has great technology, does not have speed, right? It processes 20 to 25 transactions per second at the moment, right? I think they're planning a major upgrade for it, so we'll see if it gets any faster. But how much faster can it get, right? From 25 transactions per second, right? Sonic can handle up to 400,000 transactions per second, right? It's an optimized EVM layer 1 blockchain, so super, super fast, low transaction fees. And we use a multi-matrix system here, right? We call it a matrix, and I'll explain why in a little bit. There's a couple of reasons for that. We are built on the matrix protocol, and I'll explain how that works in a little bit. But this is a multi-matrix system. We have two different comp plans. One pays out 100% on all your odd referrals and 25% on all your even referrals, but it pays 25% 4 levels below you, right? Or 4 levels above you, depending on where you are and as you build your network, right? But for your network, it pays 4 levels below you, right? So you get 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, and 25% here, right? 100% is instantly distributed through the smart contract, right? Again, no admin fees. If it's $1,000 transaction coming in, it splits it 4 ways or 100%. Right, depending on if it's an odd or even referral. The second matrix or the second comp plan that we have adds that residual component to it, right? Direct income is the focus of the Sonic matrix, and the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC bills adds that residual component, right? It adds that team income, right? So you're not just building for yourself, you're building with a team, right? You're building your network. You're getting paid to build your network, right? Most of us have been in the network marketing industry. I come from the affiliate marketing industry. The main difference there is network marketing or MLM usually has a monthly subscription, right? That's how they get their residual income is, you're buying, I don't know, pills or potions or whatever, some physical product, right? And you have a monthly subscription, and every month a box of something shows up, and that's what you're selling people, that it's the latest, greatest thing. That's kind of how most of us got started with network marketing. Then I found out, I got into affiliate marketing. The difference with affiliate marketing, it's usually a one-time payment, right? But the problem that I found with affiliate marketing is usually there's an owner of the affiliate program, right? And he's the one that's collecting the payment, and then he's sending those payments, whether it's weekly, monthly, or whatever schedule, right? Even if it's daily, right? Very rarely will you find an affiliate program that pays you instantly or pays you daily, right? And the reason for that is because it's a manual process, right? With smart contracts, we can automate that, right? So that the system does the payment distribution, it collects the payment, it pays it out, it doesn't have to think about it, right? So that's the reason we like smart contracts. Now, the 3x2 matrix is 13 slots, right? With you. And then you have 3 open positions directly below you. And then each of those 3 positions has 3 open slots below them, right? On the first level, you don't get paid on the first payment, but you get paid on the second, right? So all these green payments go directly up to you, right? The red ones pay the person directly above them, right? So 1 and 3 are paying the person above here, right? Whoever is sitting in that open position up there, they're the ones that are collecting this payment. Right? On the second level, payment 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 12 roll up to you. However, the magic of this system is that the last payment that comes in automatically pays for your recycle, right? The smart contract knows exactly who is supposed to get that payment, whether it's this person or this person up here, right? And it uses that payment to basically buy your entry back into the smart contract under your sponsor, right? So whoever referred you, whoever your inviter is, once you fill your 3x2 matrix, which is 12 slots, you're going to cycle, follow your upline, and you never come out of pocket again, right? So it's a one-time out of pocket. You pay one time. Every time you cycle, that's 6 times what you paid, right? And you can do this over and over and over again, right? There's no limits to how many people you can bring in, how big of a network you can build, right? You bring in 100 people, 1,000 people, right? They're going to continue to fill left to right, fill up your matrix, cycle, and then as soon as these people cycle, they will come back in and follow you, right? So we call it an infinite recycling matrix, and this is the Bitcoin matrix, the Ethereum matrix, and the USDC, right? Each of those has a different price. And we'll go into that, but it's very affordable to get started with this platform, right? We have a lot of people in India, in Africa, and Asia, right? Where, $100 is a lot of money, right? So we wanted to make it affordable so that everybody could get started with this platform. I think the minimum to get started right now is a little over $3 or a little less than $3, right? To come in, get started, activate your account, get an ID number, and then you can start building, right? And then as you earn, you can upgrade, right? It's a progressive system, so you can start wherever you feel comfortable, and then you can upgrade and go. The key thing to keep in mind there is you have to own the level in order for you to earn from it, right? So if you're only in the Sonic and you start bringing people in and you're not activated in Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC, those payments are going to roll up to the next person above who, in your upline who is qualified at that level, right? So you do have to activate each position. There's 25 different membership levels in this smart contract, 10 in Sonic. And in Sonic, it starts off at 10 Sonic and it doubles each level, right? So your income is basically doubling as you upgrade, right? So 10, 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, all the way up to level 10, right? Once you activate those levels, you own them for life, right? You never have to pay anything again. You can, share it with as many people as you want, and you will continue to earn over and over again once you activate these levels, right? So the goal is to start wherever you can afford. We recommend activating all 4 levels when you first come in, less than $50 at the moment, depending on the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? But Sonic is $3. Bitcoin, depending on what the price of Bitcoin is probably about $12 right now to activate level 1. Ethereum probably about $10, somewhere around there, and Sonic, I'm sorry, USDC starts off at $25. Right, so less than $50 to activate all 4 levels in level 1, and then you can start building. And there's different strategies you can use as you build, and we'll go into some of that as we go through the presentation. Right, one of the things that I noticed with other affiliate programs or other business opportunities, right? The company usually gives you a website, right? They give you a corporate website, right? But then you have to go out and you have to build your own marketing system, right? That's why they pay you a commission, right? I wanted to eliminate that for people, right? Because most people are not very technical. They don't know how to build a website. They don't know how to set up an autoresponder, right? And they don't know how to generate and create content, right? So we built a complete done-for-you AI-powered marketing system that comes right out of the box. As soon as you activate your account, whether you're at level 1, level 5, Bitcoin, doesn't matter, right? You get access to the marketing system. Now the marketing system grows with you, and as you upgrade, it gets more and more powerful, right? There's more and more features, right? And we keep adding more and more value to the system. But it's a very, very powerful AI marketing system. If you were to go out and purchase it, it would run you $297. That's what we pay for. That's what we were paying, but we have a yearly subscription. So we renew that every year, and we give that to our members, right? At no additional cost. You don't have to pay anything. You can use it. Now it is configured specifically for Web3SONIC. So while you can use it to promote other opportunities, we don't really provide any training on that, right? There's tons of YouTube videos that you can go learn if you want to learn how to set it up for yourself to promote something else, but it's configured, and ready out of the box to work with Web3SONIC. This is a lifetime, it's a one-time payment for each level. Once you activate that, you own the system for life, right? Now, this is a smart contract, right? It's not a website, right? So even if the website were to shut down, you still have access to the smart contract. And these days with AI, you can literally tell the AI to create a website for you that talks to the smart contract, and it will build exactly the same thing. Might not be as pretty as Web3SONIC, but it'll still work exactly the same way, right? So this is an opportunity that you own for life, right? I want to empower you guys, right, to decentralize your income, right? To focus on learning a skill and teaching it to someone else, right? This whole trading time for money system that we have currently isn't working for most people, right? You work, 40 years, right, only to retire, and most people are retiring broke, right? Most people can't afford, and for some of us, Social Security is not going to even be there by the time we retire, right? Because of what's going on right now. So I think it's important that we learn how to control our income, not depend on anyone else to earn, right? And that's what we created with Web3 Sonic, and I gave it to you guys at no cost, right? You're paying the person who invited you. You're not paying me, right? You're not paying Web3 Sonic. You're paying the person who invited you to the platform. They keep 100% of that referral commissions. We operate with zero admin fees. We don't take anything off the top, right? So that's very, very rare. And the reason we can do that is because we're not a business, we're not a company, right? I created this to help myself, right? And I'm sharing it with you guys. Whether or not you use it or want to use it, that's entirely up to you, right? We're not here to high pressure you or hype you up. And maybe that's one of the things that we lack from other opportunities, because most other opportunities are loaded with hype and false promises and nonsense, right? This is a true peer-to-peer 100% payout with tons and tons of value, tons of education packed into it, right? Take it for what it's worth, share it with as many people, and we pay you to basically promote the Sonic blockchain. We think the Sonic blockchain is the most important technology. We feel Bitcoin is one of the most important technological advances when it comes to money, right? And we want to share that with people. We want to get as many people, right, understanding what cryptocurrency is, understanding what Bitcoin is, right? Most people don't even understand what money is, right? So it's very, very important, this knowledge that we're sharing with you, right? It's changing the world right now. And you have an opportunity to share it with other people and get paid doing it, right? So that's our presentation for Web3 Sonic. Not too much to it. You get an ID number once you register. In order to participate in this opportunity, you do need a Web3 wallet. That is the only requirement, right? The wallet that we're using is the Rabi wallet, right? Rabi is an EVM layer one, I'm sorry, not layer one, is an EVM wallet, right? So it supports Ethereum, it supports BNB, it supports Sonic, right? It supports multiple different, it does not support Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not an EVM blockchain, right? So you can use SafePal or you can use Exodus for Bitcoin. However, we're using wrapped Bitcoin and we're using wrapped Ethereum and we're using USDC, which can be instantly transferred for into any of the other different cryptocurrencies, right? So in the cryptocurrency world, right, we don't buy cryptocurrency, right? You can go through an exchange to purchase cryptocurrency, but we don't deal with fiat currency. In the crypto world, we swap, right? We swap one cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency. We swap Bitcoin for Ethereum, right? We swap Bitcoin for Sonic, right? We swap BNB for Ethereum, right? So in the crypto world, we're swapping, right? Or we're bridging from one blockchain into another blockchain. But the most important tool in order to participate in the Web3 space is the Rabi wallet, right? Some other options are MetaMask. However, with MetaMask, you have to add the network and you have to add the tokens manually, right? Most people get lost with that, right? If you add the wrong address, you send money, you're going to lose it, right? So we wanted a wallet that worked right out of the box, right? And that's why we use and recommend Rabi wallet. Rabi wallet's very, very secure. And it was the first wallet implemented by the Sonic team, right? So we highly recommend that you download